Guys, and welcome to this video series. It's going to explain a bit of a walkthrough of the new tracker. So the new tracker I've been putting together over the last 2 months, working hard to, bring something that's easy to understand, interpret, that looks good, that's going to be some motivating to fill out, and it's going to track all the data that goes into getting a result. So what we have here is the home page. So this is the basic tracker, the first tab. And this is going to vary slightly from person to person. I'm going to explain a bit of the sections that we've included and why I've included these sections and why they contribute to getting the result you're after. So what we have here, first up, you've got dates up the top. You'll notice that these dates automatically calculate for a full 52 weeks, so one training year. So if you adjust one date, all the other dates after that will then change. The first section here is nutrition. So what we have is the caloric intake, how many days you're going to eat this. So if you're going to eat 7 days on this set calories, that's going to be included here. So what we have here as an example is 240 grams of protein, 400 grams of carbs, and 100 grams of fat. And that equals 3,460 calories per day. And then if you look down across a week, that's averaged down the bottom under total weekly intake, and that's 24,220 calories. Now, if you wanted to split into a high carb, low carb sort of setup, the option is there. That's why those nutrition setup 2s and 3s are there in case you want to go keto, do a high carb or a low carb day, or any variation in your nutrition throughout the week. Just below that is the body weight average. So we have 3 consecutive days. The reason consecutive days is to account for fluid variation. So it's the most accurate indicator of body weight. That's average there. Coming down, you have subjective stress. So it's an arbitrary number between 1 and 10. Basically, how stressed are you out of 10? Because that goes into, plays a big factor in how many days of training should you do per week? How hard should your dieting be? How high can your steps be? And gives me an insight into how you're feeling. Down there is blood pressure. This will be mainly for guys, bigger guys over 100 kilos, recording this sort of info. So for most of you guys, it won't actually, and girls, it won't actually be applicable. Same with the heart rate variability, more of a measure of your autonomic nervous system fatigue for those that are really pushing hard. The next section everyone will have included, which is sleep in hours. So you can track that either on your Oura Ring, which I wear, your Fitbit, or an Apple Watch, or just on Sleep Cycle on the App Store, which is a free app that tracks it. Basically, what you're doing here is recording your total hours of sleep per night, because we know sleep plays a massive role in recovery from training, plays a massive role in weight, plays a massive role in decision-making around nutrition choices. So what we want to be seeing is approaching coaching from a physique point of view, but also from a health perspective. So Mel is a great example of this. If your sleep is being compromised by the amount that you're training, then it's time to rejig a few things. Down below, we've got training accountability, so gym accountability, which basically just means, did you train on the days that you were meant to train? So if you did, just a green tick. If you didn't, red cross. Below this is your conditioning. So the reason to include this is if you're doing group fitness sessions, it's really hard to quantify your output. Over time, you get fitter. That stimulus isn't going to be as great, so you're not going to get such a caloric burning response. Now, if you're losing weight at the same time, then what you'll see is a plateau in weight. So what we're looking at here and what matters is your body's internal physiological response to that external stimulus. So how we're measuring that is through the total duration and the average heart rate. And those two give a proxy of sort of calories burned and intensity. And what you can do is when you control for those factors, you can apply the same principles of overload that you would with your weight training, simply adding more weight or adding more time or adding more intensity with your conditioning. So these are all tools you can use to try to burn more calories and put yourself in a calorie deficit. Down the bottom, you'll see that averaged. Next up, we have steps. So steps are super important. They're now recognized widely as the greatest variation in interperson metabolism during a dieting phase. So some people eat less and move less, and some people eat less and move the same amount. So if you're eating less and you're walking a lot less, that incidental activity throughout a day really builds up, and it could be the reason why you're not losing weight. The tricky thing about NEAT and steps per day is that this is all happening under the conscious awareness. So this is subconscious behavior, and your body's going to account for this. So by tracking the steps per day, what we're doing is increasing awareness, and we're also setting a step target, which means that we have a set baseline of physical activity every day that we can say, if you hit that, we know you're in a calorie deficit or a surplus. Just below that, we have the measurements from the in-body scan, so you can track them in there. And then right down the bottom, we have, did you do your progress photos for that week? Green tick, yes. Red cross, no. Perfect. So in the next few examples, we're going to run through, or the next few videos, we're going to run through the graphs and how each different section of the tracker is filled out.